esteemed faculty and staff, parents of the class of 2022, friends, and most important, the class of 2022. Good afternoon, and welcome all. So, here we are at the end. Scholarly and creative was our school-wide theme this year. Never has a class so epitomized a school year theme than has the class of 2022. Let's take a look at them now. Where to start? Peter Benson, the absent-minded professor. Why not with you? Curious, creative, determined, interstellar, sci-fi, politics and debate, ping pong and piano, mechanical, an aspiring aeronautical engineer, his love for the New Yorker cartoons is second only to his love for Bernie. Noah Grabowski's shape, am I right? You love dogs and have an interest in practically everything else too. Monkeys, guitars, comic books, and basketball, even a little Urdu, piano, computers, built one virtually using Linux, always smiling. Has he ever had a bad day, Michael Gonzalez? Or should I say Casey Kasem? Every word you say turns to song. You know them from every era, especially the 90s and the aughts, but nothing beats the 80s. Am I right? 80s? Nothing beats the 80s. Big chunk of this coffee. I will get my thing. Super creative, comics, movies with your sister, funny, messy too, Denny Mayer, like the twinkle in your eye, personable, friendly, history, hockey, big Rangers fan. Eager volunteers, studious music, who else would attempt a sonnet in hip-hop, except maybe Juice WRLD? Ionic pentameter meets the modern world, Nicolas Saint-Osypsky. And you know a thing or two about Shakespeare, Plato's Republic, Tolkien, Star Wars, cello, Mandarin, Chinese calligraphy, tenacious, curious. Such a conversationalist, but tossed, but never upset. He flies the scholarship flag high, William Samuels, and you read Ovid's Metamorphosis for pleasure. You don't see that every day. Our reigning vexillologist even wrangled a free flag from the Embassy of Portugal. Diligent, respectful Spanish, Latin, ancient Greek, the death of Socrates. OMG. Who wouldn't want to curl up with that book on a snowy day? Spencer Smith, Mr. Quintessential of cool. You look all nonchalant, disheveled, tie askew, shirt up, down, in, out, buttons mismatched. But no one cares more deeply. Italy Journal, spectacular. Conscientious hockey, lacrosse, fun to talk with. You love to get amped. Speaking of Christopher Guilfun, no one is more pumped than you. Stand up and let's see today's muscle group. Hip-hop, Zoomer, and you make up your own Ecce Romani. Chaotic exuberance, squeeze ball, playing cards, I just don't get it. Michael Zampati. But then again, everyone knows you've entered a room. A verbal bull in a china shop. A good-natured one, of course. Another conversationalist. You'll talk about anything, everything. Family, cooking, your Canadian mom, Yankees, Giants, Italian food. And who else eats 2 lunches a day? Except maybe you, Winston Sullivan. A low-key morning trio, you'd sleep till midday if given the chance. A food lover, especially pretzels, you're persistent, funny, and curious, always asking questions and seeking justice. Isn't it ironic, though, that he claims he learns best when class is quietest, yet he's the one talking? Finn O'Sullivan, not that you know anything about talking 24/7, 365, like one of those old toys with a pull strings. Something knocks you down, you bounce right back up. A good sport, lively, Act 1. Tennis, our student council geek, with a strange affinity for peeps. Shocking, right, Spencer Larson? Especially to someone who's widely considered a well-traveled fine dining connoisseur. Proud and funny, I swear you grow an inch a week. Bangs his head daily on the door lantern. Curious and smart boxer, maple syrup tapper, sci-fi, and Spotify. And while on the topic of music, why exactly? You're a walking jukebox, constantly humming tunes like Suburban's Freak. Or better still, thinking about playing Rainbow Six Siege, Fantasy Manja, drums, guitar, history, always a bounce in your step, and quite the fashionista, Trey Ramirez. Wouldn't you agree? You design and make your own clothes, always impeccably dressed, and your doodles, masterpieces. Understated, quiet, responsible, thoughtful, gentle. How could you not be with all those sisters? Skiing, polo, tennis, piano, and recorder. What if, Charlie Sheen, you guys formed a band? Oh wait, you did. Another musician to the core. Guitar, you combined a laid-back groove with a rock and roll vibe second to none. Obscure operating systems and hi-fi audio expertise. That quiet exterior hides a very active inner life. Ryan Salvatore. While your raw enthusiasm and excitement is the exact opposite. Like an exposed nerve. Zipping, zapping, all about it. Excellent student. Proud of his six-pack. Always smiling. Thick Ranger chains. Love that look, by the way. I know Mum does too. The Giants hockey lacrosse, Mr. Shutout, they call you. What a goal. Loves Taylor Swift. Aiden Ryder. Like you love dominating the mound, pitching 80-mile-an-hour fastballs. Let me hear it, Mr. Ozzy on the mound.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Oi, oi, oi! We gotta do it better than that. Let's try that again.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
No, wait. Dad. He's got so far. Let's try that again. Let me hear it, Mr. Ozzy on the mound.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy!
Oi, oi, oi! That's right, hits him long too, he does. Baseball fanatic, great demeanor, walks dogs for free, and that voice, once in Royal David City. Remember that, Jack Wagner? It was fantastic, like you. Hard-working, outgoing, engaging, football, soccer, skiing, lacrosse, World War II, Apex legends. Always willing and able to help with tech. Relax, Madame Ramadan. We can do this. If only you would, Henry Rodder. Relax, that is. You're never in the same part of any classroom for any given day or even period, for that matter. Athletic, curious, fresh pins, meet Harry Potter, The Godfather, Simpsons, old rap, hockey, always smiling, Nicolas Cage's brother. But seriously, the hoodie, every day. then he's not the slowest dresser in the history of humankind. That title, my friend, belongs to you. Ambitious. Chess. Midnight Run. The Simpsons. White Sox Pride. Boston Bruins. Trivia High Scorer. You just love to talk politics with Berto Flanagan. And nobody, Berto, pokes the bear better than you. A curious, benevolent do-it-yourself with eccentric interests from heavy metal, fly fishing, and Eastern European politics to esoteric videos on gallbladder surgeries and fish keeping. Who else would even, Andrew Cooper, except maybe you, another metalhead, math, financial trades, hockey goalie, lively. You're our sitting senator who maintains his stated position no matter the argument, committed to the cause. He's always throwing something up in the air, except pens, Leo Sanchez, because you've already grabbed them all. Perpetually untucked, tie and half star. But what a master illustrator. Always drawing while still managing to pay attention. Creative storyteller too, French, Mandarin, Spanish, piano, cello, drums, marimba, xylophone. Wait, William Sheehan, he should join the band too. Oh yeah, he did already. Drums, piano, guitar, who else gets every fun and obscure reference to literature but you? And you're a much needed dresser than that other shit. Squash, German, intrigued by Rome. May you one day be the ruler of your own small European country. Right, William van Leyen? Although I think you'd rather sail your favorite opti to one than rule it. A world traveler with a contagious smile, tennis, track, chamber singing, performing artist extraordinaire, Herbert Hoover and Jesus. For goodness sake, who else could pull that off? Isaac Rice. Actually, you could. Wanted to change your name to Joshua. That's biblical. And who else would dare suggest so many improvements for Alexander Dumas? But you. Delightful, smart, patient too. So much so, you took your time handing in homework all year. But not anymore. Perfectly timed for graduation, wouldn't you say, Edward O'Malley? A champion of the stage and screen? You know that putting on a cape can change a man as much as 3D printing your entire Star Wars Halloween costume can. Drums, squash, horseback riding. But come on, 32 seasons of The Simpsons. Who else on the planet? Sam Murphy? No one. And no one can play on words better than you. You freely improvise and add fake Latin endings to everything. Verbal absurdities proliferate. Good-spirited, engaged, cartoons, animals, photography. And that deadpan humor, a real winning attribute. Alexander O. Like you're winning a track meet with a fever. Unbelievable. Artistic talent too. Drawing, sketching, architecture and design, piano, sailing, tennis. Highly motivated with a kind disposition. I know you live by your grandfather's motto, try hard, do best. Which is a motto that also applies to Teddy Gonzalez. Who will ever forget your 7th grade chapel talk? And who else would put the Raven to music with their granddad, program their own video game, and love waffles with the passion you do? Understated but highly energetic when needed, especially whenever tech's involved, Tucker Gonkware. But for you, energy comes whenever you're outdoors, enjoying nature, especially playing golf, writing, piano, Hitchhiker's Guide, tall, easygoing, except when the Georgia Bulldogs are playing, and or it's someone with a southern drawl, Oliver Hageman, not garrulous, Coldplay, jazz, and of course, Arsenal Football Club. Historical fiction, climatology, biology, zoology. That's a plethora of ologies Jack went in for such a quiet, thoughtful, contemplative man who leaves no stone unturned, isn't it? Artist, chamber singer, golf, lacrosse, basketball. Remember that half-court shot? Witnessed by mum and dad? Live in that big heart of yours forever, it will. Here in Kasarjan, you'd know. You connect emotionally with everyone, even teachers. We'll follow up a week later when you know something's up. Empathetic, Big Apple fan, trades the shares, entrepreneur, cook too, fluent in French, cello, and that opera, Jane's opera. It was as good as talking philosophy with Nico, no? Usually so quiet and mysterious, but not this year. Gangbusters. Invested. Squash, current event, Schindler's List, hip-hop, rap. Run silent, runs deep. I'd say Alexander Lorenzo. Unlike you, with those loud shirt and crazy tie ensembles. Engaging, rock on tour. Kind, caring, helpful, and funny. Lilo and Stitch. Murder mysteries, Roblox. Creative writing, piano and tennis, but come on. Apple. Seriously? And Christina? That is so easy. It should be reggae, though. That's the stuff you love to sing. Bob Marley, man. History buff, too. Mr. World War II, they say airplanes especially out here. Archaeological digs with your dad. Empathetic and joyful, but only the Yankees will do. Am I right, Brody Corain? Your Yankees pinstripes through and through. Exceptional creative writer, reporter, perseverant, resilient. You're dependable, polite, mature, can navigate any situation. And that hair, Christian Freed, it's like the whirlwind that constantly encircles you. There's always stuff falling about. Super competitive, hockey's what counts, investing too. Always try harder, that's your motto. But don't anyone try to take his chips, Logan Gunn. Not that it would faze you. The room could be on fire, and your reaction would be the same cool, calm, collected one. Lacrosse is your passion. Watching football too, rap, cello, hockey. And speaking of snacks, William Duck, let's talk Twix. Big smile, on time every day, fresh direct bags, the perfect balance of common sense, intelligence, and street smarts. You're a caring person who can somehow predict the future. Knows exactly what a boy is going to say next. Robert Calendar. Am I wrong? Mr. President? Mr. Meticulous? Everything complete to the nth degree of perfection. Hockey, baseball, Model UN, debate, strong, confident leader, hand in the pocket presidential pose. You have White House Chief of Staff or his boss's job written all over you. Now how's that for a prediction? How's that for a class? The class of 2022. Represents more than the completion of a course of study. It represents what this community values: your scholarship and your creativity, your sportsmanship, appreciation for the aesthetic, and your spirituality. It represents the essence of your goodness. A life well lived is defined not only by what we do when things go well, but also by when they don't. This is where character is forged. You have struggled through tough times with optimism. You have supported each other and thrived together. These experiences will bind you in ways few others have been bound. You have integrated the essence of what it means to be a good man into the fiber of your character. Character, David Brooks says, is not comparative. It's not earned by being better than other people. It's earned by being better than you used to be. A man of character must add a values layer to how he sees himself. A sense of right and wrong, not only between himself and others, but within himself. He must develop a fundamental sense of morality that helps hone his character. Character is not formed in a week or a month. It cannot be developed in ease and quiet, says Helen Keller, but only through experience of trial and suffering. It is created little by little, day by day. It is, as Heraclitus tells us, a protracted and patient effort. The grit, fortitude, resilience, and grace you have learned here, your lived St. David's experience, is an antidote, a tool in your tool belt to counteract the incivility that so dominates our popular culture today. Your parents will remember a time when common courtesies and social graces meant something, where the popular culture supported, celebrated these sensibilities. Not so today. Today there is less talk about social grace and fundamental civility. We are repeatedly exposed to weighty doses of crude and often callous remarks, the result of prevailing popular culture that's comfortable being offensive and malicious, and a society that's increasingly harsh and less forgiving. Live within the St. David's ethos. No matter the prevailing attitudes of any given time, there's something unique and inspiring about it. It demands and requires that you consider the question and determine what the appropriate parts of an answer should be. There are such diverse and extreme perspectives today. Where you go in your musings to figure out what's really going on, where the best answer or answers lie, will come from what you've learned here at St. David's. Rely on it. Value it. Celebrate it. Over time, your parents and your teachers have moved from making decisions on your behalf to making decisions in consideration of who you are, to making decisions with you. Going forward, you will be making more of them on your own. The world is complicated and complex. The forces at play can often be hostile to what is right and good. How do you tolerate and hear differences of opinion? How do you balance your values with those that may be in direct opposition in order to live and to think and to find the good? Take a look at the cover of today's program. Bernini's David, our school's namesake, is young and strong. Pick it up if you haven't yet, and look at that program. He is young and strong, clearly a man of action, conviction, and confidence. He knows who he is and what he must do. Bernini's David is clearly poised, prepared for the immediate challenge before him, capable of felling the giant eagle of his time. Likewise, When storm winds blow, a palm tree at the beach, it bends but it doesn't break. Its roots are deep. So too are the values St. David's has instilled in you. They will help you maintain your character while bending to meet the needs of the moment, answer the questions of the day. It's been said, a man without enemies is a man without character. In the book of Genesis, Jacob wrestles with a man all night. At daybreak, the man asks Jacob to let him go. But Jacob says, I will not let you go until you tell me who I am. Well, it's daybreak. And like the man Jacob wrestles, like Bernini's David, and the palm tree at the beach, you now know who you are and where you've come from. It's time for you to go. It's time for us to let you go. It can be hard to let go, especially for your parents. So I'd like to take a moment to speak directly to them. In his poem, On Children, Khalil Gibran reminds us that our children are not our children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through us, but not from us. And though they are with us, yet they belong not to us. We may give them our love, but not our thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. We may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which we cannot visit, not even in our dreams. We may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like us. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. We are the bows from which our children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends us with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let our bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. As you fly forth, remember, you are champion of the school's mission. Like Bernini's David, you must recognize that figuring out when to step out and lead, when to follow, and how to be your best selves is not so much about how you feel or how you think. It's about the ideals you hold yourself to, the values you immerse yourself in, and the people you surround yourself with. It lies in the actions that you decide to take. As young men graduating from St. David's, you now are called upon to be curious seekers of the truth, to become an antidote to popular trends, to cultivate a mind that questions, probes, and critically examines the ideas and practices of the day. What's popular isn't always what's right. It's about character. Remain resilient, live thankfully, let humility be your guide, never lose the wonder, and as you fly forth, swift and far, may you be leaders grounded in goodness, cradled in the hands of God. Who weary body said. Please stand.